Andy,
Yeah.
did you know
Yeah.
Gwen Stefani's 54?
What?
That and other shocking news coming up. So welcome back to the 128KB podcast. We're back once again due to the lack of popular demand and the stupid facts that roll around in my brain.
Yes. Yeah, that was an interesting bit of tidbit there.
Just to shock you all.
Yeah.
This is your weekly dose of all things gaming from
and apparently not gaming as well.
two people that are old enough to remember Gwen Stefani in the 90s.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
That's depressing.
Yeah.
54?
54. I said she was like mid-40s. I was shocked.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. Today,
Yeah.
what are we talking about?
This Xbox. Yeah,
Xbox.
not the extortionate bottle that I actually paid for. So yeah, slate me in the comments. But the fact that after 21 months and nearly all the money in the world, Xbox, Microsoft now own Activision, Blizzard, and King. There we go. I can't talk.
The takeover is complete. The almost $62 billion.
No, it's 67.2 or something.
Was it?
It's nearly $70 billion. Nearly $70 billion.
I don't even understand that number.
Me either.
And I don't think realistically anyone can properly understand.
No.
If you imagine a million,
Yes.
1 million,
Yes.
if you had 1,000 of those millions,
Yes.
then that's just 1 billion.
Yes. So they had practically 70,000 million. How many pennies is that?
Seriously, you asking that?
Yes. I want you to get a calculator.
I think that would be, so 70 times 100
Yeah.
is 7,000.
Yeah.
So that would be 7 trillion. Is my maths right? I don't know. I just play games and talk about
Yeah,
them.
that's it. But a lot of pennies.
Obviously, by the time this goes out, it's kind of old news. It's a couple of days old.
Yes.
So we're not here to break the news, but what we are here to talk about is how exciting that is for the landscape of Microsoft and Xbox gamers.
I know.
What this means for the future of Game Pass.
Well, they've just won, haven't they?
It feels like they just won.
They've just won. I mean, they've been slow to start in a way. Do you know what I mean? It's almost because the whole joke is that there's no games on Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, like in a way that's kind of been true. But then when you look at it, they spent all that time without the games kind of building the infrastructure, getting the systems right, you know, like and all preparing for this point to then have the games. It feels like they've done the reverse of the Sony.
Oh, yeah.
Like
they built the infrastructure, they've got the cash, and then went, rather than making our own,
we'll buy all the games.
let's buy Bethesda. Oh, sweet. Okay, let's buy the biggest publisher in the world.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm excited and I kind of find it a little bit funny because inside the Activision Blizzard house, publishing house, there are some titles that aren't Call of Duty, because that's got the headlines, Call of Duty. So everyone's worried about Call of Duty. There's some titles and IPs in there that are synonymous with PlayStation that are possibly now no longer going to be seen on PlayStation.
Which is mad, isn't it?
It's insane.
It is mental.
So we've got, first of all, with Call of Duty, let's touch on that.
Yes.
It's a well-published deal that they have with Sony and PlayStation. Is it 9 years they've got it?
I thought it was 10. But
10 years, whatever it is.
Yeah, something like that.
Rather comically, they've got the same kind of deal agreed with Nintendo.
Yeah.
To allow Call of Duty to be on Nintendo consoles for the next 10 years.
Nintendo Switch 2, bring it on.
Absolutely. And maybe we'll talk about the Switch 2 soon.
Yes.
In an episode coming
Near
to
you.
What a reason to subscribe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm not so much interested in the Call of Duty thing.
No, I'm happy about it because I'm an old die-hard of Call of Duty. Not in recent years. We're talking Modern Warfare 1, Call of Duty 4, 2007, whatever it was. I was hardcore on that, like 65 hours a week. I lived and died by that game. And seeing now Xbox owns Activision, and the fact that the thing that gets me right, I'm just going to go on a tangent here, is Call of Duty is like Pokemon. they release a new game every single year.
It's got to catch them all.
It is. And it's no different. Do you know what I mean? It's like every year is the same thing, different setting, whatever, cool, whatever. Yeah. I'm not fussed. I don't care about whatever it's called. You know, the open world. Warzone. I like the arcade online shooter. Hardcore team deathmatch. That was my jam, right? But I got fed up of having to buy the new game. It's just like FIFA and all that. The same thing every year.
Yeah.
I'm not paying like nearly £100 a year for a new game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to pay £70 for a game. But with Xbox Game Pass, now that this is going to be there, I don't need to buy the new game. I just pay my subscription
now,
and I can play the new game.
I guess this is a really good point of speculation now is, and I think I know what your answer is going to be. Will Microsoft allow every new title, all the big hitters, to be released on Game Pass as part of the subscription? Are they going to do that just
Call of Duty or all
their games and Call of Duty within that? Because they did it with Starfield, most notably. They've just done it with Forza Motorsport.
Yes.
Which, if you're into racing games, is phenomenal.
Yeah. I downloaded it, but I haven't played it yet.
If you're from the PlayStation landscape, it's Gran Turismo 7. A bit better, but it's part of your £8 a month subscription.
Yeah. So you don't need to pay like £70 for a game. Now,
are they going to do that with Call of Duty?
I feel like, yeah, they are. Call of Duty is going to be on Game Pass. Absolutely.
Will they do it with all of their in-house titles?
I want to say yes, because their whole point of their business model is Game Pass.
It seems like that.
It is Game Pass. It's almost like they won't even bother releasing games to buy. It'll be like, you have to get Game Pass. Do you know what I mean? It would make sense. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they did that. You can only get these games on Game Pass now. They won't. They will still offer you a physical edition or at least a digital like ownership version. Of course they will do that. But I feel like they will release them on Game Pass. And if not day one, then at least shortly thereafter. Kind of like the issue we're seeing now where games are releasing digitally and then you wait 3 months to get the physical version.
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Where it's like, maybe they don't want it to be day one on Game Pass. So they go, okay, well, the game's out now, but in 3 months it'll be on Game Pass. Do you know what I mean? But to me, their business model is Game Pass. So it just makes sense to release everything on Game Pass.
So realistically, we're going to see, I feel like all of their in-house games they're going to do this with.
Yeah.
We've seen it with they got Bethesda, and then the first huge Bethesda title come out, they did it.
Yeah.
Forza's one of their own games.
Yeah.
They've done it.
Yeah.
Why not do it with all of their big games? Because I want you to subscribe.
Absolutely.
If you want to buy it.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
But our thing, like you say, I want you to subscribe and give you a reason to keep subscribing.
Absolutely. And you're getting even more value for your money. And the more they add to the subscription service, the more value you're getting, the more people are going to willy-nilly subscribe and let it roll over.
Yeah, the harder it is to ignore.
Exactly. And also, if they've got this 10-year deal with Nintendo and PlayStation and Sony, and it's like, look at us, we've got it day one for £70, or you can pay £8 and play 1,000 games. Do you know what I mean? Including this one, day one.
And download it. You don't even, even just streaming
it's not,
it.
Yeah, you're
PlayStation.
Not just... Yeah.
Looking at you.
Do you know what I mean? So I
play it on whatever system you play on.
They don't care. Whether that's on PC, on Xbox,
all right.
like whatever. Yeah.
Oh, you got ROG Ally? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There you
go for it.
Absolutely.
It's phenomenally exciting. But moving away from Call of Duty,
yes.
Then we look at some of the other huge, make no mistake, huge titles in this library.
So many.
World of Warcraft.
Wow.
Exactly.
Like what?
I'm going to preface this with saying, not for me. I'm not really an MMO kind of player.
No.
You are?
Yeah, I was massively back in the day.
How exciting is that prospect of World of Warcraft on Xbox?
Only on Xbox.
What?
Only on Xbox. Because obviously it would be on PC.
Yeah.
But if it's included in Game Pass.
Only on Game Pass.
Only on Game Pass. That's it. And only because
the fan base of that alone is worth this deal.
It's insane. I mean, for a long time, it reigned supreme as the biggest MMO ever. It's still up there. It's not number one anymore in terms of subscriber count, as far as I'm aware. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy whatever it is,
14
is
online,
number 1, and I think Elder Scrolls Online is number 2, and then WoW is 3rd. So
out of those 3, Microsoft owns 2 of them.
Exactly. But if they can get a way of, bringing World of Warcraft to the console, because at the minute it's only on PC.
They'll need to figure out the controller mapping and stuff.
Yeah,
maybe a
doable.
unique WoW controller.
Possibly.
Why not?
But, I mean, you can plug a mouse and keyboard into your Xbox.
You can, yeah.
So, I think they need to adapt it to a controller, which is possible. It's doable. So that would be insane to see.
They've done the Starfield Edition controller, but it is just an Xbox controller, just slightly better.
Yeah.
Imagine a WoW controller with added mappable buttons.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Kind of like the Xbox Pro controller, whatever it's called, with the back paddles.
Well, yeah, DualSense Edge from the PlayStation.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But with what I want to know though is if they bring WoW, which would be insane. If it's included in Game Pass, absolutely, I'd give it a go. I mean, I played WoW, showing my age here, when it launched.
Wow.
Right? Yes, exactly. WoW. And I spent thousands of hours. I mean, probably at least 5,000 hours playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
But with World of Warcraft, you need to buy the game.
Yeah.
And then you need to pay monthly subscription. So how does that work with Game Pass? Do you get the subscription included in Game Pass?
Well,
or do you get access to WoW and then you need to subscribe on top of that? Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. It's an interesting point. How are they going to do it with Call of Duty's in-game purchasing stuff?
Well, like Battle Pass and stuff. Maybe we see a Game Pass Ultimate, which is a next tier one, and it includes.
So far you have like 2 bottom tiers, don't you? You have the Essentials, is it?
Game Pass Core.
And then you've got Game Pass Everywhere, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
And then you have the higher tier than
Ultimate,
that again,
yeah.
Ultimate.
Yeah. So you've got Game Pass Core, which is basically Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah.
Gives you access to play multiplayer online.
Yeah.
And it gives you 30 games.
Yeah.
Then you've got Game Pass.
Yes.
Which is like console only.
Yeah.
So it's just normal regular Game Pass with like 500 games, everything else included. And then you've got Game Pass Ultimate, which is all of the below, but on PC as well, and cross-save on games that support it. So that you could play like Starfield on PC and on Xbox, that kind of thing.
Potentially they add it to the top tier, or there's another tier, or maybe it's an addition.
Yeah.
You get the game as part of Game Pass, but
then you have to pay.
If you want it, your Battle Pass, whatever it is you call it.
Yes.
Maybe they bring a Fortnite-style subscription where to play the game, that's part of your Game Pass.
Yes.
And you can play it fine. But if you want to take part in certain level ups or...
Okay, so they make it like free to play.
Free to play.
Wow.
But then there's a tier inside it.
Yeah.
So like Fortnite, you can play it for free.
Yes.
But if you want to take part in the achievement quests, the season,
you need to subscribe.
you need to buy that season's
with
Battle Pass.
Elder Scrolls Online, it is free to play once you own the game.
Yeah.
So you have to buy the game, then it's free to play. But there is a premium like subscription every month you pay, then that unlocks like infinite storage in your bank.
I think
gives you like extra EXP.
It's that model that will work.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way it will go.
Just how big that is.
Insane.
The player base for WoW is wow.
Yeah. I don't know how many people like play it nowadays, but still in the millions. Absolutely must be millions of subscribers.
And what I can't stress enough is it feels like they wouldn't buy these dormant... They wouldn't buy Activision just for their dormant IPs that haven't had updates or new games for years.
No.
They'll do it to bring these games back, make new versions of these games, bring them back to the top. And that kind of segues really nicely to looking at the ones I find hilarious that are in there. Tony Hawk's.
Oh, we need new entries.
The remake of 1 and 2, whatever it was called, is it remaster?
Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remaster, maybe.
I thought that was fantastic.
It's phenomenal. I bought it twice.
So good you bought it twice.
Yeah, literally.
I put a lot of hours into that game. I really enjoyed myself. I thought it was a really faithful but well done remaster of those levels. It was literally the perfect remaster.
There's nothing else they could have done.
So with that kind of modern graphic gameplay thing in mind. New Tony Hawk's games would be amazing.
But before they do that, they need to remake Underground. I want to
Why
see
not?
I want to see an Underground remaster, and then they can make a new game.
What about number 3? Okay, that's where you're at.
Underground, that's where it's at. Was there even a 3?
Mm-hmm.
There was.
Yeah.
And then it went to Underground, which
Yeah.
was 4.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah, nice. Underground is where it's at.
I didn't play it as much as I wanted to this time, but then, I'm not like an 18-year-old stoner anymore. So I think that was a lot of the reason why I played it a lot.
See, Underground...
Just zone in.
Underground was when they introduced the story. You could get off the board and run round.
Okay,
And so Underground, you start as nobody.
Yeah.
You're a kid in the streets, right? And then the whole point is that you've got to get shown on literally a camcorder, your mate as a camcorder, and then you get sponsors, and then you become professional.
So it's like a story arc.
There's actually a story, and you start from nothing and then become like Tony Hawk.
That's cool.
So you're not actually playing as Tony Hawk. You create your own character. There's actual dialogue in it. There's actual like quests and stuff. It's excellent. Amazing game.
And then there's some games, I kind of hinted at this at the start, that are like...
The PlayStation games that Xbox now own.
They're synonymous with PlayStation. And it'll be a proper 2 fingers up moment.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've welcomed them to the Xbox family.
Yeah.
Spyro and Crash.
Yeah, I know.
Crash.
Only on Xbox.
Wow. A new Crash.
Yeah.
Only on Xbox. It's so good.
They've got to share it with PlayStation for these next 10 years, surely.
There's nothing in the deal.
Is there not? Is it just for COD?
Yes.
Call of Duty? Oh, wow. Okay.
So they offered them, I get this right, they offered Sony a 10-year, like they did with COD, for all the titles in the Activision library,
Oh, right.
10 years share. If they didn't appeal the takeover,
But then they appealed it.
they appealed it, so they took it away.
You want this? No.
Can't have it now. So if it's coming, why not make it exclusive to Xbox? Why not stick 2 fingers up?
Yeah.
And why not make a new Spyro while you're at it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how big the team at, whoever it is, they'd get to develop it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they have the budgets for this. Now they've spent 70 billion buying.
But they could bring the other ones over and like be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've all basically been brought over, haven't they? Because we had the Spyro trilogy remaster or whatever it was.
That's true.
Then we had Crash Insane trilogy.
Yeah.
As well. So, and then Crash 4.
Some fantastic Crash Team Racing.
Yes. But yeah, I mean,
that was almost as good as Chocobo Racing.
I enjoyed that.
Did you?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed
How
playing
long for?
For about a day. But yeah, the possibilities there are insane for the future.
What I think's interesting is there was obviously the talk that Microsoft wanted to buy Nintendo at some point in the future.
Yeah,
They've got this like, we would love to own Nintendo. And who wouldn't, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Whether that happens or not is pure speculation. But there seems to be more of a connection between Microsoft and Nintendo now.
Absolutely.
Like they're pushing together.
Yeah.
And leaving Sony exposed.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if games like Spyro and Crash, which feel ready-made for Nintendo,
Yeah.
were like, oh, we'll make this exclusive to Microsoft and Switch.
Yes. What?
And leave PlayStation alone.
What if they bring Game Pass to Switch?
What?
Well, think about it.
Like streaming games?
Yeah, but maybe not even streaming them. But yeah, think Nintendo as the handheld kings.
Make me cry.
They're the handheld kings, aren't they?
Yeah.
Microsoft have already said we're not making a handheld because there's things like the ROG Ally and stuff like that out there. There's Windows-based things, which is very niche, like super niche.
Super niche, yeah.
But Nintendo's not niche. Everyone's got a Nintendo. And think of all the games. Skyrim's on Nintendo. It launched with the Switch. It was a Switch game at launch. It was their push.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So think about the Switch 2, which we already know is coming very soon. And the fact that Call of Duty is going to be on Nintendo.
In truth, if they can make these games run on a Xbox Series S,
Yeah, they can run on Switch 2.
I'm pretty sure they'll be able to run on
Switch
Switch
2 is supposedly going to be like PS4 level.
So there you go. It's
performance.
done, isn't it?
So imagine if you've got
At very least, though,
Xbox.
they'll have cloud streaming.
absolutely cloud streaming on there, minimum.
If they made Game Pass available on
Nintendo, so that you've got Xbox and Switch 2 with Game Pass, and then PlayStation's there left alone,
that's just insane.
playing with a PlayStation
Not Portal, the PSNP.
Yeah, the not portable, PlayStation not portable, with no games on it that you can't stream.
It's sat there on your own with your VR2 that costs you £1,000
And you've got one game to play on it.
on your own.
Yes. Imagine that. I mean,
Playing a port of Call of Duty.
playing the old one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
seriously though, that is a possibility that we could see Game Pass on Switch 2.
I mean, that's quite a leap.
It's a leap, but it's not. It's plausible.
It's plausible. It's not ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
Wow, what a thing that would be.
Insane.
There's when we were looking through the list
Yes.
of games, there was some that you're like, man, I remember that game.
Yeah.
Gun,
I loved Gun.
so good.
This Gun was like the Red Dead before
Yes.
Red Dead.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? It was amazing.
Unfortunately, with games like Gun, they are much better in your memory than
Oh
they
yeah,
are
they don't.
if
Don't
you
age
replay
well.
them now.
Yeah.
There's something about that PS2 era
Yeah.
that is far better in your memory.
Yes.
Don't
Absolutely.
know what it is.
Don't know.
PS1 era is better.
Yeah.
Like they feel a bit more retro.
Yeah. They feel like you're making that step back.
PS2 just feels like
An unfinished game, like, doesn't it? Like there's like really bad 3D
feels like the
models.
GTA trilogy.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. You know, like you think about it and you remember it being like PS5 graphics or Series X
So bad,
graphics,
man.
but then when you look at it, you're like, wow, that looks worse than Switch.
So bad.
They're like
it
terrible.
does. Yeah,
you know?
terrible.
But Gun, fantastic Western.
A new gun game.
I'd love
True crime.
True crime, yeah.
I thought those games were phenomenal. True crime.
Zorg.
Streets of LA.
Everyone's favorite game.
Right, leave a comment below if you know what Zork was.
Was it Zork or Zorg?
Zork with a K.
Oh, okay, Zork. Yeah, that's it.
Zork with a G was a platformer.
Wasn't Zork the guy out of Toy Story? You know, Buzz Lightyear's nemesis.
I think it might have been.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, apparently that was a game that they now own.
Who knows what
Yeah.
that is?
And I mean, just like we'll continue with these games, but it's Activision, Blizzard, and King, right? Which is
Candy Crush.
Candy Crush. So King's the mobile side that they now own.
Yeah.
So maybe we could see like Xbox adaptations of some mobile game IPs come over, or just be there. Maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some of those like Candy Crush style games appear on Game Pass.
What's the one that's always been on Xbox? The puzzle game. I can't remember what it's called. Christina loves it. You like shoot orbs with like a
That's
pinball.
on PlayStation, isn't it?
Is it? No. This is on. This is an Xbox exclusive one.
Oh,
It's
okay.
always been on Xbox. It's been there since like the 360. I
Yeah.
can't remember what it's called. People will know. Let us know in the comments or whatever.
There's a really famous one, a PlayStation one that came out
Mm.
on PS1 originally. And
Pebble Dash or something? Is it?
Pebble Dash is
that what
that's
I'm thinking
Xbox.
of?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
Pebble something.
It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
You match
Yeah,
colours
yeah,
up.
yeah.
And that's what Candy Crush essentially is,
Yeah.
isn't it? I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. And for us kind of more seasoned gamers, let's say, that's not really that appealing.
No.
But what it does do is it draws in the casual gamers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I can play these cool games whenever I want.
Mm-hmm.
It's only £8 a month.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is a bit of a no-brainer. It's
Well,
cheaper than Netflix.
Absolutely. And think for like parents,
Yes. Yeah.
it's a no-brainer. Think of, like, instead of little Billy only getting one game a year because it's freaking 70 quid for like a game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, Merry Christmas, you've got access to 500 plus games.
Yeah.
Like, spoiled for choice now, little Billy.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just playing that crap game that your mum bought you wherever.
So beyond the games that they have,
Yes.
and we've skimmed the surface. It's huge.
Go on. You say what you're saying. We need to touch on Guitar Hero, though. We have to.
Oh, no, let's do that first then.
Yeah? Okay, remember your point. So Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
We all remember Guitar Hero, whether you love it or not. You know, I mean, for us, we're both actual guitarists, right? So we've never been able to play because it just does not make sense.
If you play Guitar Hero really messes with your brain. It just doesn't work.
You can't do it at all. Yeah. But Guitar Hero was huge. And if you're too young to know what we're talking about, you know, early 2000s up to mid 2010s, early 2010s.
Early 2010s.
They ran it to the ground. It was the biggest thing ever mid 2000s.
It was everywhere.
It was huge. Mm-hmm. Everyone was playing it. Everyone loved it. And it's a great game. I could watch it, but I couldn't play it. It just didn't mess with me. But anyway, there's such a huge fan base and following for that. And one of the biggest problems back in the day, mid 2000s, where there wasn't like DLCs and stuff, you had to buy the game. They released it. It was basically like Call of Duty and all that stuff.
Constant updates.
It was a constant new game that you had to buy to get the Van Halen pack or the Metallica pack or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you were constantly buying these things. And then later, the last one they tried and failed massively on, which I think was 2015, after there was years break anyway. I can't remember what it's called. Guitar Hero something. That was like a live service, and you had to like pay for the tracks, and you paid to like download them. It failed miserably. They shut the servers off. But imagine now they release the Guitar Hero controller, just one, you know, and you just bought that one controller for like 50 quid, let's say. Mm-hmm. Then you got Game Pass, and you just get all these DLCs every month or new tracks every month added. You don't need to buy games every second.
I wonder if that will capture the imagination in the same way that it did originally.
I think it would.
There'll definitely be an immediate nostalgia. Like,
yeah.
There'll be a lot of people that go, "Oh, I loved playing this."
Yep.
Because it was a phenomenon when it happened.
Oh, yeah. It was. It was an absolute.
But what an incredible potential. You can have this game in Game Pass. All you need is the controller, clearly.
Yeah.
But rather than you buying a new game every couple of months with the Beatles pack or whatever it is,
or having to pay individually for the
we just keep releasing DLCs for it
on Game Pass. Yeah, this month on Guitar Hero Pass
because they own it all already.
Exactly, that's what I mean. They could just roll them out like the Switch does with their NSO games.
Yeah,
every month or every 3 months they could release a new pack of songs or whatever, and you just pay your £8 a month, download them. Amazing.
I know that Game Pass, I did the same things here. I know that Guitar Hero became expensive for them to make.
Yes, because of the licensing.
Because of the music licensing. Yeah. As it got bigger and bigger, people really started cottoning on that they should be charging more to have their songs in it.
Surely I don't know. But I mean, even if they just release what they had previously.
Yeah.
I know they'd probably have to relicense it all.
They would have to relicense it.
But maybe, because I mean... Yeah, they got greedy, and the music publishers or whatever went, hang on, we're not charging enough.
Yeah.
Well, now they're not getting anything from it.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
So, let us relicense it at the original price or whatever.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
But yeah, either way, the potential's there, and that's really exciting.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was going to say, beyond the potential of what games exist, and like I say, we've skimmed the surface.
Oh, yeah, there's so
huge.
So many games. I
kind of want to look a little bit ahead and go, what does this mean for the future? Because they took Bethesda, and then very quickly they started the deal with Activision.
Yeah,
it's only been such a big gap because it's taken 22 months or something.
21 months, I think it was. Yeah,
almost 2 years to get through.
Yeah,
actually signing off.
Yep.
Who's next? And they must have someone else next in their sites. Yeah. We saw those leaked emails, and they were talking about this is what they want to do.
Yeah.
Acquisitions, buy publishers. That's where the Nintendo thing came up.
Yeah.
Who else is in their sites?
Square.
And what does it mean? Well, yeah.
Sorry, PlayStation, but we own you. Final Fantasy, only on Xbox.
That would be such a kick in the teeth.
Oh, could you imagine that?
I mean, it's got to be someone like that.
Yeah, maybe. But do they bother buying anyone else? They don't need to, really. I mean... Will they really dominate? Like, can they have that monopoly now? Now that the postman's here, And we're back. And I was saying, can they really have that like monopoly of buying everyone?
Oh, will they be allowed to?
Yeah.
I don't think they would be allowed to buy everyone.
And would they really need to?
Yes, if they wanted to dominate.
Yeah, I
But
suppose.
they bought Square are so big,
Yes.
like so much more than Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Especially, the really interesting thing, especially in Japan, the Japanese game market, it's very easy in Europe and America to forget how big the Japanese game market is.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely massive.
Massive, yeah.
And in the Japanese gaming landscape, Xbox is nowhere.
Oh no,
It doesn't even exist.
I think I see like sometimes like sales figures, and like Switch will sell like 100,000 in a month, and the Xbox are like 1,000.
Yeah, it's just not there. But PlayStation's there in a huge way.
Yeah.
Nintendo obviously is the giant.
Yes. Yeah.
But when you think about it, both PlayStation and Nintendo are Japanese brands.
Yes.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Xbox isn't. So
No.
it always has been a Microsoft thing.
Yeah.
I think if they want to truly dominate, they need to do more in that Japanese space.
Yeah.
And then they've got the three main markets sewn up.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe buying Square's a big leap. And I
Yeah.
think they'd probably be stopped if they had so much trouble with Activision.
I also think, isn't Square Japanese as well?
Yes, Square Enix,
and
yeah.
Japanese companies have a big issue about being bought out by Western companies.
Yeah.
They basically only want to be bought out by another Japanese company.
Yeah.
So they probably wouldn't want to do it anyway.
But some kind of agreement between the two.
Yeah.
At the moment, there's a relationship between PlayStation and Square. But there's nothing formalized. It's just literally an agreement that they have that typically Final Fantasy games are released on PlayStation first for a time.
Yes.
Microsoft could very easily do the same thing. Or maybe they look to other... I'm trying to think of smaller Japanese publishing houses to do collaborations with. Maybe Sega.
Yeah.
I know the Sega Nintendo thing's tight.
Yeah.
Seemingly Microsoft's moving over towards Nintendo anyway.
Yeah, possibly. Or even some of the companies Nintendo work with.
Platinum?
Yes, like Platinum Games could be one. I can't remember if Nintendo own Monolith Soft that make like Xenoblade and stuff. I don't think they do, but they might do. I can't remember. But there could be stuff like that.
Yeah.
That they could...
So like proper Japanese games that are synonymous with Nintendo currently.
Yeah.
That aren't massively important to Nintendo. Obviously, you wouldn't see like the Pokemon company.
No.
It just wouldn't happen.
No, of course not. No.
But
Yeah.
stuff like Platinum, who you've got like the Bayonetta series.
Yeah.
Like that's synonymous
Astral
with
Chain
Nintendo.
and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And that's the thing, because
Astral Chain. That'd be such a good Xbox
That'd be
game.
so good, yeah. But Xbox is like Western games for Western people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Whereas like PlayStation's like Asian games for Asian people, as well as Western games, and Nintendo's like Nintendo.
Yeah.
But that's where Xbox fail, is there's not enough like Asian games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That
Yeah,
straddle both.
Like
Western
Nintendo do
and-
perfectly every time.
Absolutely. So that could be the next thing that they do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or maybe collaborate with, like you said, some companies that maybe Square, or some companies that Nintendo work with. I don't know. But that would be the logical thing to do next to broaden the player base.
I would love to see them buy Square.
Yeah, that would be so
It'd
funny,
just be
wouldn't
so
it?
funny.
It would be funny.
It's not going to happen. But I'm genuinely excited about this, the takeover happening, purely because it gives incentive to Activision to light a fire under those more dead IPs that I love.
Yes, yeah, that's the thing with
That's
me
all
too.
it is. It's just for the
revamp
players.
old ones. Yeah, absolutely. Like get Gun going. Do you know what I mean? Get some of these like
Spyro. I want to see it, man.
Yeah, all these amazing things. I want to see Guitar Hero come back.
Yeah.
You know, like just for the fact that the music's out there, people are enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? It's cool.
It's a proper family.
Yeah,
like,
and Christina's a
party game as well,
diehard
isn't
of it. She literally has all the Xbox 360. She's got like 15 freaking Guitar Hero games. I'm not joking. We've got like almost a whole shelf just of Guitar Hero expansions.
It'd be very easy
She
for them to do.
loves it. So people would love that kind of thing. I don't care about all the spin-offs like Rock Band and all that rubbish. Just bring Guitar Hero
You
back.
didn't have the drum kit.
No. Christina does. Yeah, I just didn't care for it. Like, I don't care.
What else
But
was there? There was the guitar, the drum kit. There was something else.
There was
Wasn't
like a singy one, wasn't there? Or was that some different company?
there? SingStar.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, banjo hero. They could do like random violin hero. What's that trumpet game that came out recently that we saw?
The Nintendo one.
Yeah. I want to see that.
So good, so weird.
Yeah, so odd.
Yeah, so you can have trumpet hero.
I want French horn hero.
Wow.
Harpsichord hero.
Wow.
Like, bring it on, you know?
Harp hero.
Harp hero. Sitar hero.
Yes.
Triangle hero.
I would be really good at triangle hero.
Yes. You just wait for the song to end and just, now, ding.
Gong hero.
Panpipe hero.
Bagpipe hero.
That's it. Mouth organ hero.
Let's play the game of what is the hero?
Every instrument ever made hero. I want all
Bassoon
heroes.
hero.
That's it, yeah. Just call it hero and you can just choose whatever instrument.
Conductor hero.
Yes, you just get 2 sticks. You get the Joy-Cons.
Joy-Cons with the accelerometer.
Yeah, that's
done. It's already done.
That's the next one. But no, I mean, there's so many games that they could revive, but also that we could see like as a backwards compatibility thing, like Spider-Man.
We didn't even talk about that. Spider-Man's in there.
We could have Spider-Man on Xbox because Activision and Disney, you know, it was Activision that made the old Spider-Man games that were on Xbox.
They were, yeah.
So they could bring them back.
Why not?
Yeah. So we could see that. And
PlayStation's
there's one called
exclusive.
Spider-Man 2. So they could literally say, Spider-Man 2, no on Xbox.
Free on Game Pass.
It's free, yeah. So that's a possibility.
That would be so funny.
I want to see some of these old titles come back, which
Yeah.
Xbox are the best at doing. Absolutely, they win at backwards compatibility or just remastering old games.
Yeah.
Or porting, you know, like making them better texture rather than a remaster. What's it called?
Remake or remaster.
Yeah. I suppose it would be a remaster. Anyway, I'd love to see those games come back, but the new entries is what excites me. You know? I'd love
that franchise coming back to life.
Yes, rather than just a remake or whatever. It'd be good to see them.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see the new Spyro, the new Crash, the new, you know.
It still blows my mind
Tony
that
Hawk.
Crash is now owned by
I know.
Microsoft.
Yeah. I've always thought of it as a PlayStation
It's
game.
as weird. Yeah, totally. It's as weird as when Nintendo released the Sega Genesis Mega Drive
On
controller.
their subscription. Yeah.
The control, but you flip it over and it says Nintendo
Nintendo
on the
on
back.
it. Yeah, I know.
It's like,
yeah.
that is so
The
weird.
Sega Nintendo Genesis Mega Drive.
Yeah. As Crash being on in Microsoft's family is as weird as that.
Very strange. Very strange.
What do you think? Let me know in the comments below what you think about the takeover, what you're excited for, or are you a PlayStation fan like I am and are slightly worried about what it means for PlayStation?
You mean like you were?
Like I was until Microsoft came and bought me out.
Yes, that's it.
70 billion.
Yeah. That's it.
I haven't given you your share, have I?
No,
you're not.
I
getting
got a bottle.
You, this is what you got. I got the check.
I'm excited for Game Pass on Switch 2. Calling it now.
Wow. That would be amazing. If you got to the deep end with us, please do rate the podcast wherever it is you listen to it, because it massively helps out. If you're on YouTube, there's buttons below.
Do it.
They're probably red. Click them all. Just mash the buttons. Control and mash it. And there'll be some videos appearing between our faces.
Oh yeah, go watch them.
Which are worth watching.
They always are.
Yes. So until the next time, we'll see you next time.
Bye.